That's Lord and Green Light. That's a fantastic song. It's just gone 11:05 and I'll be speaking to my special guest in just 1 second.
Keep it 106.7 Kennet Radio.
So my guest this morning is Andrea Roach, who's organising an event called Creating a Library for Nepal. Welcome along, Andrea. Thanks for coming along.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me.
So tell me more about the event.
It's an art exhibition, and a silent auction in aid of Books4Nepal. So there's over 33 artists from West Berkshire and North Hampshire, and a lot of them around Newbury, have very kindly donated artwork, so paintings, sculptures, photographs, ceramics, beautiful pieces to raise money to build the very first library in Razua in Nepal. It's one of the areas that was really badly hit by the 2015 earthquake, and my husband and I have been out there several times, and we've taken books out to them. The children there have no access to books, really. There's no bookshops and no libraries in the whole area. Last year, we sent across 100 kilos of books to one particular school. Thank you very much to the Buy Nothing Mortimer Facebook group. So people very kindly donated children's books. So we sent those across to this school. But there's over 60 schools in the area. So what we want to do is to build a library, a central library that will then act to lend out books to all the schools. So we set up the project about February, March this year, and we've been doing several events, and this is our main event. So we really do hope that a lot of people will come along and see these beautiful works of art.
So you're saying all the works of art have been donated. So how many artists are involved, and what sort of art is it?
I contacted all the artists from the Open Studios 2018, which is about 90 of them, and it had an amazing response. So there's actually 33 artists that said yes, which is fantastic. I never thought that so many would be so generous. So they've donated all sorts of works, from paintings, photographs. We've got some lovely ceramics, drawings, all sorts.
So what gave you the original idea in the first place? Is it that you had visited the area and were shocked about it, or can you just explain how you came up with the idea of building the library?
Okay, well, in 2014, my husband and I, before moving back to the UK, because my husband's Italian, we volunteered in Nepal for 3 months, and we absolutely fell in love with the country. It's actually one of the poorest countries in the world, but the people are wonderful. And although they've got nothing, we just fell in love with it. So we wanted to do something. Then, unfortunately, in 2015, there was actually the earthquake. So from 2016 onwards, we've been doing various projects to help. First of all, we raised money in 2016 to buy audio readers for visually impaired students that we'd taught while we were there. Then last year, we went back and helped in this particular village where we're going to build the library, teaching in a school, and we've always taken books with us, and they love them because they don't have really access to books, or apart from the two main towns in Nepal, which is Kathmandu and Pokhara, there really are not libraries or bookshops or anything. So when they have access to our beautiful books, we have so many here, we're so lucky. They're always so enthusiastic. So we've always taken them with us. And then, I said, last year we sent over 100 kilos of books to one school. We thought, well, that's just one school. There's 60 schools in the area. It's going to take us a long time to sort of do the same thing. It makes sense to build a library. So that's how it came about. And we're in contact with a local sort of charitable organisation in Nepal, and they have sort of had discussions with people in the village, so they've got total buy-in from the village. We've been donated a piece of land where we can build it, so we've got everything ready. We just need to raise the money.
So can you say what the target is and how far off that target you are at the moment?
It's £18,000, which isn't a lot to build. That's to build the library and to totally sort of fill it up with books and have the computer and the training and everything up and running. So it just doesn't sound like a lot, but just for my husband and I, myself to raise it is quite a lot. I mean, we've had a great response locally. We're doing sort of pub quizzes, and we did a library crawl early in the year, and so we're now at just over 3,000, but we've still got a long way to go.
So how does the auction process work?
The exhibition's open from 10 o'clock until 7 o'clock on Saturday, 6th of October. So people come along, and when they arrive, they can register, and they get sort of like a raffle ticket number. So they can go along and they look at the works of art, and if they like some of them, on each piece it says, for example, that its normal price, selling price would be £50, and then there's a minimum, so the minimum might be £10. So they can say, okay, yeah, I bid £10 for that, or they might think, oh, that's wonderful, I really want it, I'll bid £50 straight away. And then towards the end of the day, about 6 o'clock, I'll say, okay, let's stop, and whoever's bid the most will then be able to buy that piece of work.
So just tell us a bit more about where it is. There's a number of Newbury artists taking place, but where exactly is the event next weekend?
De Vere very kindly have given us the venue, wonderful location. So it's De Vere Wakefield Estate, which is from Newbury, it's less than half an hour's drive. It's quite close to Mortimer, so it's between Mortimer and 3 Miles Cross, that sort of area.
Can you just describe some of the exhibits that have already been donated?
Well, as you can see, there's quite a lot. They're all different sizes and styles, from quite modern art to very sort of classical designs. We've got two beautiful portraits by the artist Demat de Courcy Robinson. We've got sculptures. We've got a lovely little sculpture by Paul Harvey. Beautiful photographs. We've got photographs from Rebecca Hedges, Benjamin Honeset, Fiona Q. Then we've got sculpture and ceramics. We've got ceramics by Sally Courage. We've also got small sort of very particular cut portraits by Charles Burns. We've got oil paintings by Susan Lyle, Joan Millard. There's too many artists to. There's a couple of mine as well.
What sort of thing do you produce then?
I've put in a couple of. They were surreal. So I've got Einstein in a washing machine is one of them.
Sounds great. It's an amazing looking. I'm not an art person, but I can see from what you've got, there's quite a variety here. So just explain. You were saying before about there's a book connection with each of the paintings. How does that work?
So I asked all the artists to give me a brief biography and why they donated, and also what their favourite book is, because I wanted to tie everything in, obviously, because the whole idea is that we want to build a library. So and most of the artists have donated because either they've got a connection with Nepal or they love books and they understand the importance of books. So they've all given me their favourite book. And what I'm going to do is to put their book, if I can find them, I've been trying to borrow them, to hang them up by the piece of work. So you can see and sort of the connection, and it's quite interesting. So, for example, from the sculptor, Paul Harvey, his favourite book is Reader's Digest Book of Birds.
Right.
So, which is what inspired him initially. One of the other artists has a thesaurus. And then you've got classical books. You've got one of them is The Prophet, another one's Little Women. So it's sort of quite telling, and I think it's quite interesting about to sort of look at the art and then look at the favourite book of the artist. And we've also the sculptures are going to be displayed on top of 30 boxes of books that we have of children's books ready to send when we've got a library. So I'm using those as plinths to put the sculpture on, just to bring it back to what it's all about, children's books and the library.
Oh, that sounds absolutely excellent. Well, thank you very much for showing me around the exhibition as it is now, and very best of luck with next weekend.
Okay, thank you very much. So please do come along and have a look. It's a beautiful location, lovely works of art, and there's also going to be a bar, so you can come along and have a glass of wine and chill out.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, Andrea. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming in. All the best. truly fantastic exhibition, well worth getting along there. That's at Wakefield Park Mansion next Saturday between 10 and 7.
Rose and flows of angel hair.
So thanks a lot for listening today. I've really enjoyed the programme. Hope you have as well. Thank you so much to my guest, Andrea Roach, for telling us all about the Creating a Library for Nepal over in Mortimer next Saturday, all day from 10 till 7. Really suggest getting along there. I'll definitely be there. It's not that hard to get to from Newbury. I'm terrible on directions. You can either do M4 Junction 11, follow the signs to Mortimer, and you've got Wakefield Park, it's the conferencing centre, and the BMW training place. So that's where they are next Saturday, 10 a.m. I'm not going to have a chance to have a chat with Jeremy now, but he's raring to go, so he'll be along just after news. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Keep it KR.
On FM across Newbury and Thatcham, online at kennetradio.com and on your mobile. This is Kennet Radio News.